Now I call the Association for Sustainability Development of Burundi.
Mr. President, Sri Lanka suffered for almost 3 decades fighting an internal conflict with LTT, a brutal terrorist organization that was promoting a separatist agenda. More than 30 UN member countries banned the LTT because of the grave crimes it was committing against the humanity. LTT was the first terrorist organization to use suicide carders to kill thousands of innocent civilians, and they were also notorious for using child soldiers in battle. By eliminating the LTT in 2009, our brave soldiers protected the human rights of all Sri Lankans, and the Human Rights Council also passed a resolution in 2011 welcoming the conclusion of hostilities in Sri Lanka. However, despite the fact that the UN Charter does not authorize intervention in matters that are essentially within the domestic jurisdiction of any state, the High Commissioner has been repeatedly making references to the need for constitutional reforms and for special tribunals to investigate alleged war crimes in Sri Lanka. His keenness to propose investigations against the Sri Lankan armed forces must extend not only to the dead and gone LTT leadership, but also to those who financed and supported their terrorist activities in the past. The LTT's international network and the local and Tamil Nadu politicians who actively supported the LTT should also be held accountable for the thousands of lives lost in Sri Lanka over the last 30 years. They have blood in their hands and they should not be allowed to act as champions of human rights now. The promotion and protection of all human rights should be guided by the principles of impartiality, objectivity and non-selectivity. We therefore request the Office of High Commissioner not to behave in an unfair, unjust and inequitable way with regard to Sri Lanka compromising the UN Charter.